Zhang knew the killer might be the next one to die. Young Tony had been wanting to expand into kidnapping for ransom, but it was hard to release a dead body back to its family. It's still better than the mainland. He had grown up in the slums on the outskirts of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia's capital city. At night, he and his sister would climb the tallest tree in their neighborhood and stare at the bright lights of faraway downtown, dreaming about what it might be like to live there. With both parents dead from cholera, they had spent their days foraging in the streets, picking through garbage and shoplifting on the rare occasions they could sneak into one of the tiny shops along the dirt road. Zhang had killed his first man when he was 12, stabbing a gap-toothed Malay who was trying to rape his sister. They'd fled the tin-roofed neighborhood he'd known all his life and headed into the city, where things were even worse. One day, Zhang had woken up to find his sister simply gone, as if the city had swallowed her whole. With nothing left and nothing left to lose, he joined one of the local street gangs and quickly turned to piracy. After a few years, his childhood memories had blurred, until it seemed like this had always been his life. At least here, he had a place to sleep, and friends to watch his back. Even Tony was a fair leader, although Zhang was still pissed about losing his extra share and missing the party. Taking one last drag from his cigarette, he flicked the butt into the water and turned to go. As he did, his leg bumped the railing, and his ragged shorts caught on something sharp. What the? Zhang bent over to look at the small, four-pronged grappling hook, each tine covered in sound-deadening neoprene. It was latched onto the railing hard, as if it was supporting something or someone below. Straightening, he turned toward the bridge, opening his mouth to scream a warning to the rest of the crew. As he sucked in a breath heavy with ocean salt, he sensed something moving behind him, before everything cut to black. On the luxury yacht Big Fish, Patrick Vanner, former Marine and head of intelligence for the Keldara, rubbed his temple and took a sip of his strong black Indonesian coffee. Nothing like fresh roasted, as in picked off the vine less than 48 hours ago.
"Are you all right, Patrick?"
Gresnia, his top intel puke and new wife, watched him with a concerned expression on her gorgeous face.
"I'm fine. Just a bit of a headache, that's all."
At least he hoped that's all it was. The 3 bullets he'd taken on the blown Florida op occasionally still made their after-effects known. Sporadic headaches were the most common, but he'd been suffering some haloing in bright sunlight, which could usually be counteracted by dark sunglasses and limited exposure. The downside was that he didn't get to watch Gresnia sunbathe as often as he would have liked. Out here, that was practically a crime. Taking another sip of coffee, he stood and surveyed the room.
"Status report?"
he asked his team.
"Team Yosef has reached the target and has engaged the enemy. Team Jane reached their LZ 21 minutes ago and is moving into position. Glasgow is on overwatch above us, and the Kildar and the Master Chief are observing on the trawler,"
Gresnia reported. Vanner nodded. They'd soundproofed the large cabin, but if the Keldara sniper went green, they'd still hear the reports of the Barrett 20 feet overhead.
"General ship traffic on radar quiet. Nothing approaching within 10 nautical miles,"
Irina said.